Welcome to You Are Supreme Toys. Today we're going to be going over the new Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi Reva third sister figure from the Retro Collection by Kenner, which is now Hasbro. Hasbro bought Kenner out back in the early 90s, I believe. But here's Reva on her blister card. The face doesn't look too bad. Comes with a double-edged lightsaber. This is designed to be like the Inquisitor lightsabers from the Rebels cartoon. Yes, the Rebels cartoon, when they introduced the Inquisitors. But as you can see, it features this. The card back features this tattered look around the edge. If you've had older toys in your collection, you'll know that over time, with moving them around and storage, the cards become a little tattered. So they kind of give it that design like it's a 40-year-old toy, which is okay. I would have rather it been a clean looking card back. But this is actually a decal right here, affixed to the blister, affixed to the backer card. In the original vintage collection, they would occasionally put a decal on the card art for mail away promotions and the like. So that's kind of cool. I honestly would have rather it not been there or just been printed on. I don't think there's any need for a sticker because I would have liked to have had the whole shot of Reva here. She's very regal in appearance in that photo. But yeah, that's all there is to the card art. I love the vintage style, but I'm going to be opening these. I have no interest in having these mint on card in any facet, shape, or form. I do not like the back of the card for the simple reason that they do not have cross-sell art. On the original vintage Star Wars toys, when you bought your Star Wars toys, it would have a big box with all the little Star Wars action figures set out in a row that you could get if you went to the store. And the longer the series ran, the more figures there would be. So you'd have the first initial, 8 figures on the first card back, but by the end of Return of the Jedi, you'd have 100 figures on the card back with a little checkbox in it. And they got all this useless legalese nonsense and multiple language nonsense on the back. And it's just really a wasted opportunity. If they had done it the original way, a lot of more people, I think, would be more inclined to keep it mint on card or to keep the card. I'd imagine a lot of people would throw it away, but this the card art's pretty good. But we're going to pop her open real quick and have a little look and compare to an actual vintage Star Wars figure. Let me get my trusty razor knife here and open her up. There she goes. Pretty simple. This is a useless piece of paper. I don't know why they feel the need to include these. There's nothing useful on it. It's just more legalese. It's basically everything that's on the back of the card back. Back in the day, Kenner would have put a little there would have been like a small catalog sheet that showed you upcoming releases in the packs of their toys. For instance, if you bought a Batman figure from the 90s, you'd pull a little paper out and fold it out, and it'd be like, oh man, look at all the other Batman toys that are coming out later this year, and you'd be all excited for it, and you'd show it to your parents like, I want this and this and this. But they don't take the opportunity to do that kind of stuff anymore. There is nothing holding her in the card. The lightsaber is stuck in a little lift in the bubble, so you'd need to lift it and pull it out straight. Let's take a look at this lightsaber first. It's got these 3 little indentions, and I gotta say, I do not like this plastic. This is very flimsy. I could see a kid breaking this. It should have been a sturdier plastic. But let's get Reva out. She just pulls right out. Alright, right off the bat, I love that glossy armor, and the face sculpt is actually very good. They even got the hair very finely detailed. I really like that. Got the little Imperial insignia on her shoulder. Let's see her paint. Her belt is painted a little bit. Got her boots. I don't know if there's anything on the bottom of the boots worth looking at. I mean, a date stamp. It's kind of painted over, so it's hard to read. But she has a thin plastic vinyl cape, just like the original Star Wars figures would have had, like Darth Vader or Obi-Wan Kenobi. She only has 5 points of articulation, which is standard for a vintage Star Wars toy. And usually they do pretty good. They design them in such a way so that you could fit them in their little cockpits of the vehicles and what have you that they drive. Her head turns. They fold the cape down in the back. I never really cared for that, but they, as far as I know, I think they did that with the vintage figures in the package. Pretty simple, pretty standard little toy. She stands very well. Well, she did stand very well. I don't know which hand you'd prefer to put their weapon in, but it's pretty tight. Nice solid grip. Nice solid grip. There she goes. There's Reva. Pretty simple, pretty standard. I'm going to pull in an actual vintage 78 Darth Vader for comparison. As you can see, Darth Vader is a taller figure. Darth Vader was also released in this series, this set of figures, so we're going to be using him again as a comparison. As you can see, the very first Jedi and Sith figures came with this telescoping lightsaber that would slide into their hand. I never understood why it had this little dingus on it, but usually those break off. Kids would just cut those off because they're like, oh, that's annoying. But as you can see, he has the vinyl cape just like hers, but this is a lot softer. Hers is a little bit more rigid. A little bit more rigid. Typically, the kids would tear these capes off over time with play. Regardless of what you think of the actual show, I really like these figures. I've been collecting them for The Mandalorian, so I was excited when they announced these two. I don't know what you think of the characters, but I don't really care. I like toys. This is a great toy. Thanks for watching.